Okay, let's break this down. Because what really happened between Justin Bieber and SZA on that stage wasn't just some flirty fan fiction moment the internet exaggerated. It was deeper, messier, and honestly, kind of alarming. If anything, it felt less like a performance and more like a cry for help. Not just for us watching, but for the people closest to Justin. Because whatever's going on behind the scenes, it's clearly starting to spill out in public. By now, you've probably seen the clips of Justin making a surprise appearance at SZA's LA show. At first, it looked like a cool, spontaneous collab, until you really watched him. Something wasn't right. He was holding the mic, but barely singing. The lyrics didn't match. His body language was slow, disconnected, like he wasn't even fully there. And then came the moment that lit the internet on fire. He grabs SZA's hand, kisses it, and stares at her like he's completely mesmerized, like he's somewhere else entirely. Fans instantly started whispering cheating, but the truth is, this moment was less about romance and more about a man spiraling in plain sight. Let's get real for a second. That wasn't a love story. Can we stop romanticizing it? What we saw on that stage wasn't some steamy moment between Justin Bieber and SZA. It was a rescue mission in real time. Because while fans were busy, screaming scandal, SZA was doing something much more powerful. She was holding her friend together. When Justin started to visibly spiral mid-performance, you can literally see SZA step in, grabbing his face, steadying him, guiding him without turning the moment into a bigger scene. That kiss on the hand, it wasn't seduction. It was either a desperate grab for attention or maybe, just maybe, a silent thank you from a man who didn't have the words to admit that he was falling apart. And then there's Hailey. Yes, she was in the audience. Yes, the cameras caught her reaction. And no, it wasn't jealousy. It was something far heavier. Her face? Stone cold. Not because she didn't care, but because she's seen this before. This was a woman watching. Her husband unravel in front of thousands of people, and knowing she couldn't stop it. Hailey has stood by Justin through breakdowns, outbursts, breakdowns in public, in private, everywhere. So if anyone understands the emotional weight of this moment, it's her. And we really need to stop pretending this is brand new. Justin's been caught slipping like this before. Foggy eyes, zoned out, snapping at paparazzi for just existing. The signs have been there. And now, we've hit a point where it's no longer just a weird moment. It's a pattern. That stage wasn't a pop culture moment. It was a live broadcast of someone spiraling. Instead of spinning this into a cheating scandal or fanfiction romance, we need to ask the real question. Who's actually helping Justin Bieber right now? Because what happened on that stage should terrify us, not entertain us. This is someone's mental health, someone's life, someone's marriage on the edge. And the longer we treat it like gossip, the more likely we are to miss the real crisis until it's too late.
I saw the Justin Bieber performance with SZA as a special guest, right? I don't know how much longer we're going to ignore how bad a shape Justin Bieber is, and I have talked about this quite a bit. I have gone on a roller coaster. I have felt like he is totally okay, and then I have felt like he is not well.
Let's talk about the other side of this, because the internet is wildly missing the point. I've seen people clowning Justin over that performance, saying he looked out of it, dragging him for lacking chemistry with SZA, even accusing him of touching her like that because he supposedly hates his wife. First of all, yes, the dynamics in the Bieber marriage have always been complex, but that's not what this moment was about. Y'all, he didn't look moody. He looked gone. Like his body was on stage, but his mind was somewhere else. Entirely. And SZA? She wasn't flirting. At one point, you can literally see her touch his back gently, like she was trying to ground him, to pull him back into the present. But instead of asking the hard question, why was he even on stage? In that condition? People are out here making fan edits like it's a rom-com moment, shipping them, saying Justin needs a black queen to fix him. Huh? Why does everything always get twisted into a fantasy or love story, even when it's clearly a cry for help? That performance wasn't a duet, it was a rescue. And SZA didn't just sing, She held it down for someone who looked like he was unraveling in real time. That's not about chemistry. That's grace, empathy, and professionalism. Respect that. Instead of turning a mental health crisis into clickbait romance, maybe we should be asking why no one else stepped in to help. Because the only real headline here is, Justin Bieber doesn't look okay, and SZA just happened to be the one human enough to notice.
People are kind of fixated on how he was touching SZA and like doing all these like, grabby type motions, kissing her hand, doing all that. And they're like, oh, Hailey Bieber, I don't know how she does it. Like, she's so good for doing that because I wouldn't be able to do that. And all I could sit there and think about is, Justin's not even here with us.
Now look, I'm not here to throw reckless accusations. We don't know exactly what was going on with Justin that night. But let's be real. If you've ever been around someone struggling with substances or mental health, you know that, look, that dazed, distant energy isn't some mysterious artistic vibe. It's someone barely hanging on, doing everything they can just to stay present. And here's where it gets tough to watch. People are so quick to bash Hailey Bieber like she's just some accessory in Justin's life. But cut that woman some slack. If Justin really is spiraling right now, there is no way she isn't carrying some of that weight too. The hate she gets online is constant. But beyond that, being married to someone who might be in crisis, that's draining on a soul-deep level. And watching the internet laugh about it like it's all some messy soap. Opera? That's even worse. This moment, this viral clip, this stage appearance, it's bigger than just a glitch in a show. It's a mirror reflecting everything Justin's ever tried to tell us about what the industry did to him. His peace, his health, his spirit, all chipped away over time. And now, when he shows up clearly not okay, people are more interested in making edits than asking the real question, who is helping him? Because honestly, it didn't look like his team stepped in. It didn't even look like he should have been out there. The only person who truly showed up in that moment, who looked him in the eyes and tried to steady him, was SZA. And if we keep turning this into gossip or a shipping war, we're going to miss the fact that someone we all grew up watching might actually be crying out for help.
SZA brought out Justin Bieber, and someone in the comments said you can literally see his marriage leave his body.
Hailey actually opened up about the challenges of constantly being in the spotlight and how it has affected her marriage. When Hailey recently appeared on the cover of Vogue while promoting her Rhode skincare empire launching into Sephora, she addressed quite a number of issues her marriage included. And after years of being dragged and accused of living in Selena Gomez's comment section, Hailey finally opened up about how being in the spotlight 24/7 has affected her entire life and her marriage. Hailey said that people were calling her a stalker, even calling her dad a pimp for taking her to Justin's events when she was younger. Hailey said that after 7 years of marriage, she thought people would chill, especially after being a mom. But nope, the trolls are still in her mentions. Like it's 2018. And when she tries to clear the air or speak her truth, people say that she's lying. That kind of gaslighting literally feels like a mental prison. She said, I feel like I have fought so hard to try to get people to understand me, and people just don't want to sometimes, and there's nothing you can do about that. I've been in a position where I've tried to tell my side of a story or correct a narrative or tell the truth of a lie, and then they go, well, she's lying. Imagine how that feels. She even said that she's been doing mad therapy just to stay sane. Postpartum on top of being bullied online every day was just next-level trauma, and through all of that, she is just trying to live her real life with her son, her husband, and the people who actually know and love her. Being postpartum is the most sensitive time I've ever gone through in my life, and learning a new version of myself is very difficult. And to be doing that all while going on the internet every day and people being like, they're getting divorced and they are this and they are not happy. It's such a mind F, I can't even begin to explain it. It's a crazy life to live. She said Ariana Grande's quote about not inviting in negativity really hit her, like you don't have to accept it just because it's there. And now Hailey is setting boundaries. Editing her own TikToks and staying away from toxic spaces, still active but protecting her peace. And that's a vibe we can all learn from. It's not lost on me that Hailey has also behaved in rather questionable ways or said stuff that put her on blast. But for a moment right here, Y'all, this was just not another influencer sob story. Hailey has really been going through it, but she is standing 10 toes down in her truth. And the way that she's moving now is a different energy. Good for her. You would think that people would have a change of heart after her setting the record straight like that, right? You thought wrong, because even after all of that, here are some of the comments that followed. This person wrote, "From my own experience. People that try to convince you they are in a happy, healthy relationship are trying to convince themselves." This person wrote, "She'll never convince me she didn't stalk him when she was younger. The video proof is incriminating." Another wrote, "She made fun of her stalking like it never happened, but girl, we have proof." Like I said, it's not like Kay hasn't shot herself in the foot on several occasions. I just think both her fans and haters need to realize that things are beyond her control, like being blamed for Justin's behavior. Like this person who was wondering why Hailey was there, acting as if nothing was happening to Justin. Like what was she supposed to storm onto the stage and carry him out? Justin's behavior is on him, just saying, and I totally get it. Justin has always somehow also made things hard for Hailey because they never present a united front. On more than one occasion, he has literally sabotaged her. And it's such actions that sometimes make people believe that they aren't happy. Take the recent drama with Vogue, for instance. It felt like Justin Bieber is always working overtime to publicly prove, beyond any reasonable doubt, that he hates Hailey. Now, this was one very unfortunate instant for Hailey, because it just didn't make sense why he would ruin her Vogue moment like that. And when Hailey's fans said, "Who needs enemies when you have a spouse like this?" It made sense. In case you're lost, let me catch you up real quick. Hailey Bieber recently landed the solo American Vogue cover, a career-defining moment. But instead of her man popping off in full support, like a normal husband, Justin Bieber went full sabotage mode, straight up humiliating her. The post he made was super unhinged, like all he had to do was write, "Congrats, babe, I'm proud of you," and move on. But Justin went and opened a whole emotional trauma file no one asked for, and people just couldn't help but feel sorry for Hailey. So here's what went down. Justin posts Hailey's Vogue cover on IG, and instead of just hyping her up, this man takes us back to a time where he told her she'd never be on the cover of Vogue. Yep. He admitted that he said that in a fight. He wrote, "Yo, this reminds me of when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Tails that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean." And instead of stopping there, he spirals. "For some reason, because I felt disrespected, I thought I gotta be even. Be even with your wife? Over what exactly? Justin, her existing." He tried to clean it up with a soft apology at the end. "Baby, you already?" "No, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because I was clearly sadly mistaken." Can we all just pause right there? Because that sadly mistaken line, diabolical, it's giving, "I wish I had been right." The internet caught the vibe immediately. One comment hit the nail on the head. It's giving, "I didn't think you'd do it, but you did it. So my bad, congrats, babe." Another says, "He needs to get a journal, WTF." And honestly, the most accurate one. This is a classic, "How do I make this special event about me?" energy. Final nail in the coffin was this comment. "May this love never find me. OMG." Honestly, why would he post that in the first place? The moment was about Hailey, her achievement, her success, but Justin had to drag in these old fights, his own ego, and therapy-like thoughts on revenge and intimacy. No one needed his emotional scrapbook at that time, just his support. He deleted the caption hours after being called out and replaced it with emojis. But the damage was done. Screenshots live forever. People called it controlling, bitter, and honestly, textbook emotional sabotage. A soft smile, a proud caption, even just a heart emoji would have been enough. But instead, he reminded the whole world that at one point he wanted her to fail. Do you know what's worse? Back when Kendall Jenner made it to the Vogue cover, he actually had nice things to say, and in a very simple way, he posted the cover with the caption, "Congrats, Ken. You look beautiful." Why he didn't have this kind of energy when it was Hailey's turn is something people didn't understand. Not to mention that this has been like second nature to Justin by now. Their marriage has had more red flags than a FIFA match. From throwing shade in public moments to where she looks visibly uncomfortable. Fans have clocked the vibes for years. This was just the final straw. One person commented, "This is what you get when you're obsessed with who's not into you. I feel for Hailey. Sometimes, though." So yeah, while Hailey's face is on the cover of Vogue, Justin made sure he was still a part of the headline. And in doing so, he reminded everyone exactly why people think he low-key hates her. And all this simply proves my point that, can we stop blaming Hailey for Justin Bieber's shortcomings? I mean, even if she moved heaven and earth to be with him, let's just say she made her bed and she's lying on it. But the hill I'm willing to die on is that so many occasions Hailey gets dragged when the matter at hand is completely out of her control. What do you think about all of these loves? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.